Lil Static, hysterical case analysis. Special Education Discovery Packet, Boondocks Edition. Intro, courtroom announcer voice. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please turn your attention to Exhibit GW24. One folder, 17 missing reports, 3 gallons of narrative sauce, and a Commonwealth file held together with paper clips, vibes, and prosecutorial duct tape. This is not discovery. This is a scavenger hunt with a case number. Lil Static speaks. They walked in court with a folder looking confident, opened it up, whole file caught amnesia in the documents. CAD said one thing, report said another, timeline doing cartwheels, blaming my brother. Grand jury heard the movie trailer, not the film, no origin chain, just trust us, Your Honor, it was him. Where the body cam? Where the street reports? Where the injury photos? Where the facts, of course? They got a packet so thin it need a sandwich, 3-year delay with a 6-month bandage. Paperwork paradox, comedy tragic, file so incomplete it started practicing magic. Case analysis, Lil Static mode. The Commonwealth's theory is hysterical because it wants to be both serious and invisible. It wants serious charges, but invisible evidence. It wants officer authority, but invisible officer reports. It wants resistance allegations, but invisible injury photos. It wants a grand jury indictment, but invisible full context. It wants plea leverage, but invisible reconstruction. That is not a prosecution file. That is a choose-your-own-adventure book written by the copier machine. The case starts late, talks loud, and skips the part where everybody is supposed to ask, how did George get there? Who already knew what? What was dispatch told? What did each officer independently observe? Why does the CAD have more backbone than the narrative? The file is basically saying, we do not have the full movie, but please convict from the 3rd act. No, beloved, that is not how reconstruction works. The Discovery Packet Roast. This packet contains timeline reconstruction, also known as please ignore the clock. CAD and 911 analysis, also known as the machine accidentally told the truth. Officer report audit, also known as who wrote what, who saw what, and who suddenly became Casper. Video and audio review, also known as if it starts after the important part, it is not the whole story. Crisis context evaluation, also known as you cannot criminalize the crisis and hide the warning. Grand jury comparison, also known as what did they tell them and what did they leave out? Physical evidence review, also known as injury allegation with no injury photos is courtroom jazz. Plea posture analysis, also known as the late carrot trick. Lil Static verse. Discovery packet came light as a feather, but they held it 3 years like buried treasure. Said they had a case. I said, where the rest? File looked nervous when I gave it a test. Cat on the stand said, I don't match that. Officer narrative wearing a fake mustache. Grand jury heard the bedtime edition. Whole origin chain went missing from the mission. No photos, no reports, no full reconstruction, but they still want pressure like mass production. Paperwork thin, but the posture dramatic. That's why they call the analyst Lil Static. George G.W. with the folder and glasses, reading the gaps while the courtroom passes. Not guilty of the narrative, stamped in red, because the truth got legs and the file playing dead. Court-safe punchline. The serious version is simple. The discovery file appears structurally deficient because the omissions are concentrated around the exact facts needed to reconstruct the case. Origin, timing, officer-specific observations, crisis notice, video completeness, physical corroboration, and grand jury presentation. The Lil Static version. They brought a narrative to an evidence fight. Closing statement, Boondock style. This is not just a case. This is a folder full of missing doors. Every time the Commonwealth says, trust the report, the defense asks, which report? Every time they say, the officers observed, the defense asks, which officer, from where, at what time, and where is his independent statement? Every time they say, the grand jury indicted, the defense asks, What did the grand jury actually hear? That is why this packet matters. Because if the story is complete, produce the body. If the body is missing, stop pretending the skeleton can testify. They can have their narrative. George G.W. Washington wants the evidence.